welcome back, guys. In this video, we'll be looking into Materialize CSS button and the class they provided for us in styling our buttons. And let's not forget, there's another class for this footer that I mixed. The class is supposed to be copyright footer. So you can add a div over here, a div with a copyright footer, and then you can add this into it. Instead of having this here, you can copy this and then remove this and paste it in here. We also have our container so that it will be more centered. Class container, so it will be a container inside a container. Okay, so and that's it, guys. So let's move over to our button. So button.html. Let me open this up. Materialize CSS button, and our link should be CSS slash and our script should be JS slash, and then just like I told you in our installation, we have a button tag with class of our btn. The btn makes it to be styled as a button. We have a wave provided by Materialize and the waves effect. So we can also add our background color. Let's say the background color will be purple, and purple lighten free, and we can say that the text within it should be gray text, and that should be text lighten 2, and then let's add a submit. So let me open this up. Oh, mistake here. Button. So you can see the styling of the Materialize CSS. You can see the waves, the dark that covers here. That's the waves and the waves effect. So we have different buttons. We have floating action button and flat buttons. We also have a way of disabling our button. So let's briefly look into that. Let's do this, the floating action button. So button, then we can add our class of floating action btn. I suppose it's supposed to be this floating button should be btn floating and btn large or small. So we can we also have a btn large or btn small. So I could decide to make this to be bigger, btn large, and we decide to make this small, and add a btn, add a color. Okay, let's leave out the color, and then let's add our icon here, link, and the link supposed to be CSS as well, link, and this should be font slash materialize. I'm not sure that I copied this correctly, so font. Looks like I missed this, so let me pause and let me get. Okay, so I've gotten the correct font for this. It's supposed to be font slash material icons CSS. So I could be able to add the I class here, I class material icons, and that should be add. So let's do this. So you can see this button is now large, and this is a small floating action button. We also have a BTN flat. BTN flat is used in modal or cat, which shows okay, actually this is a raised button. This is a raised button. This is a floating action button, and the next one I want to show you guys is the flat BTN. So the flat BTN doesn't call for much action. So whenever you want to submit some stuff, you can use the raised button. So you can also add an icon to this. Since now since I've already bring in the action, let me show you guys. I class material icons, and this should be send. To submit is to send. I have it. So let me show you guys. Okay, so you can see the submit as a send, and this as an add button. For the flat, the same way, the button class. For the class now, we'll be having BTN and also BTN flat, and waves, and also waves effect. So the waves is optional. That's if you want. Check. Let me refresh. You can see this is a button. This is a button, but you can see the way this button is and the way this button is. So these are the button types that we have in Materialize CSS. So I remove the BTN because of the okay. And so that's it. This is our check. You can also disable our buttons. Let me copy this and make changes to it. Disabled button. This and remove the BTN flag. This should be disabled. 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 Okay. So let's do that. You can see this button is being disabled. Why this has a cursor pointer? this has a cursor, a pointer set to none, so you can see it's being disabled while others are not disabled. So that's the much on Materialize CSS button. Thanks guys.